जय जमुनधिरवनचारी जय कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधवा जय कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय राधा माधव श्री राधे जय पंचतत्व जय पंचतत्व जय प्रहलाद सिंह जय प्रहलाद सिंह जय प्रहलाद सिंह जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद श्रील प्रभुपाद की गौर प्रेमानंदे। Readings from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 10, Divisions of Creation. Today we are going to see verse 15 and verse 16. So before getting into this verse, on this auspicious morning, we will try to chant the auspicious invocation prayers. I will chant, you please try to repeat. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Nigamakalpatarorgalitam phalam Sugamukatamrita dravasamyutam Pibata Bhagavatam rasamalayam Muhuragho rasika bhuibhavakaha नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवत्युत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी. Okay, so verse number 15. ādyas tu mahat sargo guṇa-vaiṣamyam ātmanaḥ. ādyas tu mahat sargo guṇa-vaiṣamyam ātmanaḥ. dvitīyas tu ahamo yatra dravya-jñāna-kriyodayaḥ. dvitīyas tu ahamo yatra dravya-jñāna-kriyodayaḥ. ādyas tu mahat-tattva guṇa-vaiṣamyam ātmanaḥ. dvitīyas tu ahamo yatra dravya-jñāna-kriyodayaḥ. ādyas tu mahat sargo guṇa-vaiṣamyam ātmanaḥ. dvitīyas tu ahamo yatra dravya-jñāna-kriyodayaḥ. ādyas tu mahat sargo guṇa-vaiṣamyam ātmanaḥ. dvitīyas tu ahamo yatra dravya-jñāna-kriyodayaḥ. Matajis. ādyas tu mahat sargo guṇa-vaiṣamyam ātmanaḥ. dvitīyas tu ahamo yatra dravya-jñāna-kriyodayaḥ. ādyas tu mahat sargo guṇa-vaiṣamyam ātmanaḥ. dvitīyas tu ahamo yatra dravya-jñāna-kriyodayaḥ. Okay. ādyah, the first. Tu, but. mahataḥ, of the total emanation from the Lord. sargaḥ, creation. guṇa-vaiṣamyam, interaction of the material modes. ātmanaḥ, of the supreme. dvitīyaḥ, the second. Tu, but. ahamaḥ, false ego. yatra, wherein. dravya, material ingredients. jnāna, material knowledge. kriyā-udayaḥ, awakening of activities. Work. Translation, please repeat. Of the 9 creations, the first one is the creation of mahat-tattva, or the sum total of material ingredients, wherein the modes interact due to the presence of the Supreme Lord. In the second, the false ego is generated, in which the material ingredients, material knowledge and material activities arise. Purport. The first emanation from the Supreme Lord for the material creation is called the mahat-tattva. The interaction of the material modes is the cause of false identification or the sense that the living being is made of material elements. This false ego is the cause of identifying the body and the mind with the soul proper. Material resources and the capacity and knowledge to work are all generated in the second term of creation after the mahat-tattva. Jnana indicates the senses which are source of knowledge and their controlling deities. Work entails the working organs and their controlling deities. All these are generated in the second creation. Hari Om Tat Sat. Okay, we have 16 also. I'll read the verse and translation. Bhutastu sarga-tritiyastu tanmatro dravya-shaktiman chaturta indriya sargo yastu guṇa-vaiṣamyam. The sense perceptions are created in the third creation, and from these the elements are generated. The fourth creation is the creation of knowledge and of working capacity. Om ajnanatimmirandasya jnananjana-shalakaya chakshurunmilitam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupakada Mahyam Dadadi Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Gurun Sri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sakhagana Raghunatan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parjana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sakhagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Pancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin iti namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunnavadi Paschaitya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam pangalangayate grimit-kapatamaham vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanyam Ishwaram Kathanchana Smrite Yasmin Dushkaram Sukaram Bhavet Smrite Pritam Syat Sri Chaitanyam Namamitam Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Jayapataka Swaminiti Namine Namacharya Padayanitai Kripapadayine Gaura Katadamadaya Nagaragramatarine. Hare Krishna. So, first of all, it is nice to be back in Mayapur after a long traveling. It's always good to be here. Feels so nice to be back in Mayapur in the company of all sadhus and the deities. Feel very fortunate that I was allowed to come back. So, this chapter 10 and 11 is very interesting chapter. Why it is interesting? Because this 10 and 11 discusses something which is very, very relevant to us, which is time factor. Everybody is interested in time factor. Everybody wants to know about time factor. Time management is like a big subject matter in the world, in the secular world also. It is a big subject matter in the spiritual world also, because Rupa Goswami in Nectar of Devotion, he says that the symptom of a person in bhava is avyartha kalatvam, that he does not waste a moment away from the service of the Lord. So everybody is talking about time, everybody is interested to know about time, everybody is interested to see how they can utilize their time to the best of their ability. So therefore, naturally study of time is very, very interesting. The 10th chapter explains the philosophy of time and the 11th chapter explains the measurement of time. That's how these chapters are positioned. So there are different ideas of time, like modern science has some idea of time, Vedic science has some idea of time. So modern science sees time factor as more like a facility for measurement which keeps moving, and then you can actually measure things over time, because time is seen as more like a passive element. It is not seen as an active element which actually does things and then which makes things happen. Modern science does not put so much emphasis on time factor as something which is the energetic aspect which moves the creation. They don't put so much importance to time from that aspect, but they do put importance to time. They want to measure time, they want to make atomic clock, they want to measure time to the best of precision, because there is usage of time, and time is indeed very useful for various things. So Bhagavatam explains the Vedic perspective of time, which means that time is the impersonal representation of the Supreme Lord in this material world. So time is the Supreme Lord Himself. Kalos me, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita in the 11th chapter. So Krishna is showing His wonderful universal form. In the beginning everything is mushy mushy, kushy kushy, very very good. And Arjuna is very happy because he is seeing so many things very nice. So many things he is seeing very nice. So many different faces, so many different things, so many different types of gems, so many different type of decorations, and so many different type of effulgent beings, and so many nice things he is seeing. And suddenly the scene is changing. The scene is changing. He is seeing past, present and future at the same time. And he sees how the Lord is simply devouring the whole creation. All the warriors of Kurukshetra, they are simply rushing into the mouth of the Lord, and Lord is simply devouring all of them. He sees very ghastly teeth, and these teeth, they get stuck, and then somebody's head is flying, somebody's hand is flying, and the whole thing is getting devoured. And then he got so much afraid. He said, "Hey, I was not expecting this, I was not planning to see this, I was planning to see something nice." Then he became very afraid. And then he put both his hands together, and then he asked, "Who are you? Who are you? Please tell me. Just now I was seeing my friend, then I was seeing so many nice things, all the demigods, all the sages, devas, danavas, siddhas, charanas. It was also nice to see, but this is not so nice to see, so much of destruction. Who are you?" Then Krishna declares, "Kalos me, I am time factor. I am time factor. Sarvaharascha, I will simply take away everything." So therefore, the Vedic perspective of time is the prime factor which moves the creation towards destruction. So therefore, we have great respect for time. In Bhagavatam, it is said that every day the sun is rising and setting. It is rising and setting. And then by rising and setting every day, time is simply taking away one day from us. We cannot protest, "Oh, Mr. Sun, I am not interested to give my one day to you. Don't take it away from me. Don't take it away from me." We cannot do it. We cannot tell time that, "Please do this. Don't take away one day from me. I am not agreeing with you." No. Udyan astam cha yan asau. The sun rises, the sun sets. What it has done? It has taken one day from us. But the clue is also there in the same verse, that tasyarte yatshononita uttama shloka vartaya. That if we are able to spend our time discussing the Supreme Lord and discussing the activities of the Supreme Lord, discussing the activities of the Supreme Actor who comes as time factor and then makes the whole world act, If you are able to discuss his activities, if you are able to discuss his pastimes, then time is simply taking us towards him. This is a very positive moment of time. Time is taking us towards him. So, therefore, this discussion of creation and time factor is completely together, because you cannot discuss creation without time factor. You cannot even think without time factor. You have to think, yesterday I was somewhere, today I am here, tomorrow I will be somewhere else. The entire expression of thinking, language, living, everything is based on time factor. So therefore, time factor is an inextractable feature of creation. So therefore, whenever creation is discussed, time factor has to be discussed, and whenever time factor is discussed, creation has to be discussed. So therefore, here there is discussion of creation, and Bhagavatam discusses creation many times, and sometimes we can get very bored or very frustrated with this discussion of whole creation, because discussion of creation is always not nice, is very complicated. Like for example, here it is said that there are 9 types of creation, and ādyas mahat-tattva sargo guṇa-vaiṣamyam ātmanaḥ, dvitīyas ahamo yatra dravya-jñāna-kriyodayaḥ. So it is said that, in the first creation, mahat-tattva was created, the 3 modes became active because the Lord was looking at the pradhana. Pradhana means the things are there but they are not active. Pradhana means everything is there. The whole creation is there but it is not active, it is not separated, it is all lying together. So it is not very active. So then the Lord looks at mahat-tattva, and by the glance of the Lord, the pradhana is agitated, it becomes mahat-tattva, the 3 modes become manifested. And then the 3 modes, they interact, the mode of goodness become prominent, mode of passion become prominent, mode of ignorance become prominent, and mode of ignorance and time factor together, it actually gives rise to false ego. You cannot produce this in a laboratory condition. This is the problem. We can produce artificial intelligence, we can do so many different things, but we cannot make mode of ignorance interact with time factor and produce false ego. Because false ego is the subtlest of the subtle elements. You cannot even, for example, understand there is false ego. It's very difficult to understand its false ego. It's very easy to understand mind. Mind is the grossest of the subtle elements. People always keep saying, my mind is not good, my mind is good, my mind is disturbed, my mind is happy, my mind is this, my mind is that. Mind is like loud. Mind can be easily perceived, is very loud. Intelligence is less perceived. Intelligence is less perceived because intelligence is subtler, but false ego is literally impossible to perceive. Prakriti kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvasaha ahankara vimudhatma kartaham iti manyate. I am the doer. I am the doer. I do everything. I do everything. I do everything. I am chanting 16 rounds. I am following the 4 regulative principles. I am progressing in bhakti. I am the doer. But Krishna is saying that you are not the doer. Who is the doer? When we are not doing devotional service, 3 modes is the doer. But when we are doing devotional service, Shunvatam Swakata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtanaha Hritayantasto hi abhadrani vidunoti sugrutsatam. Such a beautiful shloka. Very, very beautiful shloka. Whenever we think that, I am doing so many things nicely in Krishna consciousness, then we should go and we should read this shloka. Shunvatam Swakata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtanaha Hritayantasto hi abhadrani vidunoti sugrutsatam. Krishna is doing. That when we become ready to hear about Krishna, then Krishna becomes very alert. This guy wants to hear about me, so I should do something for him. I should make the conducive environment for him to hear, because this fellow, he cannot hear on his own. He cannot hear on his own. It's impossible for him to hear. So I should make something in a way that he can hear. So what is that? So then he starts cleaning the heart. It's chak, let's clean. Krishna, vidunoti, vikrishta rupena dhunoti. So we are thinking we are doing service to Krishna, but actually Krishna is doing service to us. If Krishna doesn't do service to us, we cannot do service to Krishna. If he doesn't agree to clean our heart, forget it, we cannot chant 16 rounds, we cannot follow 4 regulative principles, we cannot hear Bhagavatam. Even when he is agreeing to clean our heart is so dirty that when we hear about Krishna, the first thing we want to do is to go to sleep. That's a natural reaction to hear about Krishna. When I came long time back to Mayapur, I was, at that time I was, even now I am new bhakta only. That time I was new bhakta. Now I am new, one new maybe less bhakta. So, I was hearing His Holiness Bhakti-Charu Swami Maharaj's class, and he was telling that in ISKCON there is a mantra to sleep. I was thinking that, oh, he is going to give some mantra which I should chant before sleeping. I became very alert that what mantra I should chant before sleeping, I should know. I should chant that mantra before sleeping. Then he said the mantra to sleep is Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Then I understood it is a joke. Of course, he said there's a mantra to wake up. Then he said, Mahaprasade Govinde, there's a mantra to wake up. So, why? Because we have natural aversion to hear about Krishna. We have natural aversion to hear about Krishna. And that natural aversion comes from our friend. Who is our friend? Our friend is false ego. Our friend is false ego. This friend, false ego, he is telling, please don't hear about Krishna. If you hear about Krishna, you will lose my friendship. My friendship is giving you such a nice feeling. What is that feeling? That feeling is, I am the doer, I am the enjoyer, I am the controller, I am the well-wisher. Such a nice feeling to have. Such a nice feeling to have. That I am the doer, I am the controller, I am the enjoyer, I am the well-wisher. Everything happens because of me. The whole world is rotating because of me. Aha, what a feeling. This is the feeling false ego is giving. And if we hear Krishna Katha, then we'll come to know, I am not rotating the world. Krishna is rotating the world. Krishna is rotating the world. Krishna is making everything to happen. Aham sarvasya prabhavo mattas sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitaha. Where did this come from? Where did this come from? I was thinking I am the cause of everything. Aham sarvasya prabhavo means I was thinking I am the cause of everything. So therefore Mayavadis, they are very, very happy when Krishna says aham sarvasya prabhavo. Then they say, you see, aham. Aham means what? Aham means me. Aham means me. And who is that me? That me is Brahman. That Brahman is the cause of everything. I am Brahman, you are Brahman, dog is Brahman, cat is Brahman. Aham Brahmasmi. So difficult to accept that there is a supreme personality of Godhead. He is the enjoyer. He is the controller. He is the well-wisher. It's so difficult to accept. But if we accept it, then we can become peaceful. We'll never be disturbed. Krishna says, Bhoktaram yagyatapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram sugrudam sarvabhutanam nyatva mam shantim rachati. You want to be peaceful, my dear friend? You please accept this simple fact that I am the enjoyer, I am the controller, I am the well-wisher. I means what? Krishna. Krishna is the enjoyer, Krishna is the controller, Krishna is the well-wisher. If we accept this, then we can be peaceful. But if we try to be enjoyer, controller, well-wisher, then we have to go through a lot of anxiety. We have to go through a lot of anxiety because time factor will come and take away the control. Ultimately, time factor controls everything. Ultimately, time factor controls everything. So, Kulashekara Alvar is saying, Idam shariram parinama peshalam sata sandhi jarjaram patati avasyam kim aushadam prachasi muda durmate niramayam krishna rasayanam piba. Very beautiful explanation. Because, we become so proud of our body. Oh, my body is so nice, so powerful. I can do so many things. My intelligence, I can move the whole world with my intelligence. I can do this, I can do that. We become so proud. But the fact is that this is simply given by time factor. Idam shariram parinama peshalam. And before we recognize, everything will start shaking. Sata sandhi jarjaram. Everything will start shaking before we recognize. And then Before we understand, it will fall down. Patati avasyam. This body will fall down. This body which is a great source of pride. This body which is a great source of anxiety. This body which is a great source of happiness. Everything will get finished. It will fall down. So we cannot give any medicine to save a dead man. There is no medicine which can save a dead man. Okay, let's put some medicine, let us save a dead man. No, not possible. The man is dead, he is dead. No medicine can save him. We can try to do what? Take, give some electric shock, talk, put some defibrillator, this, pump, do CPR, whatever. But when the man is dead, he is dead. No medicine can save him. Kim aushadam prachasi. Kim aushadam prachasi. What kind of medicine you are going to give to save this dead body? Better you drink the medicine of the holy name. Niramayam Krishna rasayanam piba. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Better we drink this holy name. Then when we read Bhagavatam, we understand, oh, this is not possible in the laboratory. How to produce false ego in laboratory? Okay, we cannot produce false ego in laboratory. Okay, can we make false ego to interact with the mode of goodness and produce mind? Where to find mode of goodness? Where to find this fellow false ego? How to put them in test tube and how to make them interact? No process. No process to do that. So, okay. Can we make these elements, tanmatras, can we make these tanmatras to come from somewhere? No, not possible. We can play with the tanmatras. We can play with the panchabhuta. We can play with it. The entire manifestation of material world, including what scientists are making, everything is simply product of panchabhuta. But can we produce fire from nowhere? What is the ingredient to produce fire from nowhere? Not possible. Not possible. We cannot produce sky, we cannot produce fire, we cannot produce water. Very difficult. Very, very difficult. It's impossible. We cannot do it. We cannot do it. We can play with it, but we cannot produce it. We cannot produce it. Physics agrees that one form of energy can be converted into another form of energy. Energy can neither be created nor be destroyed. This is law of physics. Energy can neither be created nor be destroyed. One form of energy can be converted into another form of energy. So the early physicists, they had some brain, little bit brain. So they understood these things and they made this law that this is how it is. So therefore, the intelligent thing, an intelligent person, a sober person, try to understand that what am I supposed to do with this creation? A sober person is trying to understand this. Why this creation is there? Why these plants? Why these animals? Why these bodies? What am I supposed to do with this creation? And when he tries to ask this question, then Bhagavatam gives the answer. Please study creation. By study of creation in Bhagavatam, we can understand three things. That's why repeatedly creation is studied in Bhagavatam. It's trying to drill. We have double-dense to bulletproof brain. Because to get something inside our brain is very, very difficult. So therefore, Bhagavatam is trying to drill this fact into us. Put inside this guy. Again and again and again creation is discussed. Why? To drill three facts into our consciousness. The first fact is, it is extremely difficult to forget Krishna. This is the first fact. It is extremely difficult to forget Krishna. If we want to forget Krishna, we need this whole circus of creation, 14 planetary system, universe, this, false ego, mind, intelligence, jnana, what is that? Karmendriya, jnanendriya, tanmatra, panchabhuta, so many different things you have to arrange simply to forget Krishna. Extremely difficult to forget Krishna. Extremely difficult. It's not easy. Okay, I have to forget Krishna. Done. No, it's not possible. You have to be put into condition. Bhutaihi, lingaihi, duvividavarnaihi, mahakarma alanaihi. So much arrangement is required. Gross body, subtle body, and then big chain of karma. Then bind the soul with this chain of karma. Because soul and body, there is no connection between soul and body. Soul and body cannot stay together. So forcibly bind the soul to the body. How to forcibly bind the soul to the body? Mahakarma alanaihi. By the chain of karma, tightly bind. Tightly bind. This is called hridaya granthi. Hridaya granthi mahuhu. Pumsastriya paitri bhavametam. Tayor mito hridaya granthi mahuhu. Make this feeling to come. I, me, mine. I, me, mine. I, me, mine. So, very difficult to forget Krishna. Very, very difficult. But it's very easy to remember Krishna. This is the second lesson from creation. Second lesson from creation. If we want to see Krishna, we can see Krishna in everything in the creation, because nothing is independent of Krishna. Everything is connected to Krishna. It's simply manifestation of his energies. Just like a lover who leaves so many things for the remembrance of his beloved, Krishna has put his stamp everywhere in this material world. There is no place which will not help us to remember Krishna. Every single aspect of this creation can make us remember Krishna. If we want to see Krishna, Stavara Jankama Deke, Na Deke Taramurti. He does not see the external forms of moving and not moving. What does he see? He simply sees Krishna. Ishtadeva Spriti. Oh, this is my beloved Lord's trees. This is my beloved Lord's buildings. These are my beloved Lord's nature. Krishna says in 10th chapter Bhagavad Gita, Yadyat vibhuti matsattvam srimat urchitam yevava tattat yeva vagachattvam mama tejo amsam sambhavam. Whatever beautiful you see, whatever which is nice, no need to just turn away the mind, don't need to just turn away, it's all Maya, Brahma Satya, Jagan Mithya, Maya. No need to do that. We can see it, we can enjoy it, but with the idea that this is made by Krishna, this is Krishna's potency which is working, this is Krishna's potency which is manifested, this is Krishna's potency which is all around us, and I am also part of that potency. So easy to remember Krishna. The same creation which is made to forget Krishna is the perfect arrangement to remember Him. This is the beauty of creation. This is the beauty of Krishna's creation. So therefore, the entire Bhagavatam is again and again, second canto, third canto, again and again, we are discussing creation. Why? Bhagavatam is teaching us to see Krishna in what we can experience. Because creation is what we can experience. Creation is what we can see. Creation is what we have. We don't have the divine eyes to see what is happening in Goloka. Premanjana churita bhakti vilochanena santas sadaiva hridayeshu vilokayanti yam shyama sundaram achintya gunaswarupam govindam adipurusham tamaham bhajami. That prema anjana churita bhakti vilochana is not there with us. We simply have one material lochana, which can only see what is material. So therefore, we have to see the Creator in the creation. For this reason, Bhagavatam is again and again discussing creation to emphasize the third point. What is the point? What kind of lover Krishna is. Because ultimately, this is what we are looking for. We are looking for loving reciprocation in our relationships. This is what we are looking for ultimately. Whether it is a cat or dog or amoeba or human being or devata or Brahma, whoever it is, doesn't matter. Everyone is looking to have some loving relationship, and everyone is looking for fulfillment in that loving relationship in 5 different rasas. This is what people are looking for. And we are trying to find that lover. Will my wife love me? Go and tell my wife, oh my wife, I love you. Do you love me? Then wife says, I also love you. Do you love me? Oh, nice. Okay, now I can love my wife. But how long? For 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, husband and wife are fighting with each other like cats and dogs. Then what happened to your love? Oh, love is lost. Love is lost. Where it is lost? Oh, it is lost in so many places. Then, okay, you try to have a child, and then you tell the child, oh my child, I love you. Then the child also says, Papa, I love you. How long? Till the child grows up and becomes teenager. And then he thinks that, oh, parents are the biggest villain. Where did you come from? Why are you in my life? Why did you become my father? Why did you become my mother? I could have had a better father. Then you start thinking, my father used to say to me, better to have a coconut tree than having you as son. At least I can get tender coconut water from that. What is the use of having you as son? So, we have so many feelings. We have so many feelings. But ultimately, we are looking for that fulfillment in loving relationship. That is what we are searching. We are searching for love. We are searching for relationship. We are searching for fulfillment. We are looking for a lover who will never leave. And study of creation teaches us very nicely that Krishna is the only lover who will never leave. You can put your faith on hundreds and thousands of lovers. You can try to do it. And we have done it for millions of lifetimes of Brahma. We came here, Nitya Baddha. Nitya Baddha means we are eternally conditioned. And then what we are doing? We are taking different bodies. Sotram, Chakshush, Pashanam, Sarasanam, Granam, Yevacha, Radhisthaya, Manaschayam, Vishayan Upasevate. Krishna very barely puts facts in front of us. Any intelligent person, if he understands, what is this? This is correct. What I am trying to do? Adhisthaya, Manaschayam, Vishayan Upasevate. Simply trying to keep this senses and mind and trying to enjoy. But I am trying to enjoy, but I am left with suffering. No one is asking this question, I am trying to enjoy, why I am left with the suffering. When we ask that question, we become intelligent. Hey, I am trying to enjoy, but why am I getting suffering? I am supposed to enjoy, but why am I getting suffering? The moment I want to enjoy, suffering comes. Why I am getting opposite result when I want something else? But people think that, oh, this is the rule. What is the rule? In order to enjoy, you have to suffer. What stupid rule is this? Who made this stupid rule? That in order to enjoy, you have to suffer. Why we are accepting it? From small child we are told, oh, work very hard, you can be happy in future. Now I am 54 years old, my hair is salt and pepper. I have still not seen the future where I can be happy. But everybody is telling everybody else, work very hard, you can be happy in future. When that future will come? Future is like a post-dated check, it will never get encashed. Happiness in future, it will come. Why can't we be happy now? Anandam buddhivardhanam, pratipadam purnamrita swadanam. Why can't we be happy now? We have become so dull. that we have lost the ability for intelligent inquiry. We become so dull. We are victims of an education system which has blunted our intelligence. That we cannot ask, why I cannot be happy now? What is the problem? That's why Prabhupada is saying, where is that educational institution which will teach about the science of the soul? Where is that educational institution which will teach about the science of the soul, which will tell us, you are not this body, you are a spirit soul. Your constitutional position is to be servant of Krishna. And if you take that constitutional position, then you can be full of knowledge, you can be full of happiness, you can be full of eternity. Simply work towards that end. Simply work towards that end. The karmendriya, this jnanendriya. Then there's a question from Bhagavatam. And there's karmendriya, there's jnanendriya, and there's a question from Bhagavatam. What is that question? Kamasya hi nendriya pritya labho jiveta yavata jivasya tattva jigyasa narto yacheha karma bhihi. Such a relevant question to understand creation. That what profit did you get simply by trying to work for sense gratification? My dear friend, can you please tell me what profit you got trying to simply work for sense gratification? Oh, I made billions of dollars. I am the richest man in the world. Very good. I made a company which has 4 times the turnover of American GDP. Very nice. I am the technical god of this world. I made people identify them with a phone. I called it iPhone. Excellent. What is the result of all that? I got cancer. I have to die. Now, where technology? What is the use of billions of dollars? What is the use of such wasted intelligence? What is the use of such wasted intelligence? One has to think. One has to think. When time is there, Krishna tvadiya padapankaja pancharandram advayyame vishatumana saraja hamsa prana prayana samaye kapavata pitthair kantha varodana vidau smaranam kutaste. Very beautiful thought process. Very beautiful thought process. That when there is ability to think, when there is ability to engage myself in devotional service, the best purpose of the human body is achieved by trying to attain Krishna's lotus feet. Krishna tvadiya padapankaja pancharandram. And the whole creation, this karmendriya, jnana-indriya, tanmatra, and all the paraphernalia is simply meant towards this end. And if it can be used towards this end, anasaktascha vishayan yatarham upayunjataha nirbandho krishna sambandhe yuktam vairagyam uchyate. If it can be used towards this end, then there is meaning of human life, because then this creation can be utilized to find that lover whom we lost. And when we find that lover, we can be eternally happy. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, thank you very much. Any comments, questions, brickbats, reflections? Ramesha Prabhu.
Thank you for that very, what's the word? When something is so thorough and broad. Thank you for that class. You started off by you didn't start it, but in the middle you started telling us there's 3 rules. First rule, it's so hard to forget Krishna. Look what has to happen. Look what has to be created. Totally understood that. Then, ironically, you said the second rule, everything that's created is to let you see Krishna. First you said everything that's created is to get you to forget Krishna. And then the same creation is meant to get you to see Krishna. I found that to be interesting. Because the first rule, that's for everybody. But the second rule, that's only for people on a spiritual path of devotees. It's not for everybody. So that's just my comment about the first two rules. Since they seem dealing with all the manifestation of creation, but for different purposes. I have one other actual question though. There's one mahat-tattva. One. But there's uncountable universes being breathed out of Mahavishnu. And he's entering every one of them as Garbhodakshai Vishnu, or there could never be the secondary creation by Brahma. So, in the mahat-tattva descriptions from the last few verses and today and the next coming up, is that happening for every universe? Or, because the word universe doesn't appear. But
yeah. It's an interesting question. So, my understanding, I'll just speak my understanding because, Bhagavatam, everybody can speak according to the realization only. My understanding is that if we study the broad description of creation, Esai Kanispasita Kala Mata Valambya Jivanti Loma Vilaja Jagadantanata Vishnor Mahan Saighaisa Kala Vishesho Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. So, the whole universes, they simply stay for one exhalation time of Mahavishnu. So, when he inhales, the entire creation is withdrawn back into his body. So, that means the material energy also gone into him only, because there is nothing for the material energy to manifest. So, technically Pradhana is within Vishnu. Normally, we tend to think that Pradhana is like a ball, which, at least I tend to visualize Pradhana as like a ball which is hanging and Vishnu is looking at it. Because there is this glancing concept is there. That, Pradhana, Vishnu glanced at Pradhana and then Pradhana got disturbed and it became mahat-tattva. This whole concept is there. So, therefore, the human tendency is to assume that Pradhana is away from Vishnu and Vishnu is looking at Pradhana. So, my understanding is it is not like that. The process of Vishnu's glance on Pradhana is not like that. It's not that Pradhana is out of Vishnu and Vishnu is dancing at Pradhana. So, Pradhana is also within Vishnu only. So, Vishnu glancing at Pradhana is more like a transcendental glance. So, then that agitation and all that, it actually happens within the body of Vishnu, Mahavishnu, and then the manifestation of the universe is the first manifestation which is physically coming outside the Vishnu. So, all the reaction has already happened, and within the pores of Vishnu, the different universes are now ready to eject out. So, when he is exhaling, then it's just ejecting out. That's the thing which we see, which is coming and floating outside, and then he enters into it as Garbhodakshai Vishnu. And within that particular universe, whatever bodies were supposed to take birth and rotate, they all come together and pierce his navel and come out as the subtle lotus. And on that lotus, the first created being, Brahma, appears. This is how I understood it. I am open for correction, but this is my understanding.
But you said it in a way that's not intuitive. That's our problem. We think, as you said, mahat-tattva is something outside of Vishnu. So the idea that he's glancing at the mahat-tattva, but that's in him, that's not so intuitive. That's very intelligent way of explaining it. Hare Krishna.
And regarding your comment and observation, it is true that devotees can see the creation in such a way that we can We can see everything as Krishna. But that's where the mercy of Prabhupada comes into play, because Prabhupada appeared, Prabhupada appeared simply to distribute this mercy and make it accessible to those people who are not devotees, who can actually trained to see that which they cannot see, especially through Prabhupada books. That if the most auspicious thing in the world, Tava Katamritam Tapta Jivanam Kavibiriritam Kalmashapaham Shravana Mangalam Sribatadadam Bhuvigranantiye Burida Jana. So that most auspicious activity in this world is to make people see what they cannot see through the distribution of Srila Prabhupada's books. That's the most auspicious appearance of the International Society of Krishna Consciousness meant to do. That Narottama Das Thakur is singing that Patita Pavana Hetu Tavai Avatar Mosama Patita Prabhu Na Pai Bear. So that's the mission Prabhupada actually gave us mercifully, that let's get out and let's become devotees ourselves and let's make others to see. So that's where the reconciliation comes. Yes, non-devotees cannot see, but the opportunity for them to see is there because of the mercy of Srila Prabhupada.
I'm taking Bhakti Shastri again this time, and next time, and each time. I have found that the Bhakti Shastri course is so profound at getting devotees to awaken to seeing Krishna in everything. I just wanted to mention that in case someone here has not taken that course yet. You're missing out. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. One last question and then we'll stop.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you very much for a profound class. So when we talk about time, when we are in the Grihastha ashram, there are a lot of responsibilities which take away a lot of our time. And there is always a struggle between prioritizing our service or activities towards Krishna and our household responsibilities. So how do we prioritize them? Is balance the key, or at some point of time we have to focus more on Krishna conscious activities because the time for death is coming closer and closer as we are growing old?
So the first mistake is to actually think that family responsibility is independent of devotional service. This is the first mistake. Okay? Normally people do that mistake. Normally devotees talk about balancing material life and spiritual life. This is the first mistake. We are not Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. We don't have a material life and we don't have a spiritual life. We are not twin personalities. We have only one life, which is spiritual life. Sometimes I ask devotees, when I teach Shastri courses, I ask devotees that, do you think Krishna consciousness is the most important thing in your life? The natural answer is yes, we all understand Krishna consciousness is the most important thing in your life, but it's actually wrong. Krishna consciousness is not the most important thing in our life. Krishna consciousness is the only thing in our life. When we say Krishna consciousness is the most important thing, then we actually are saying that we have other things which are less important, but they are independent of Krishna consciousness. A devotee in his life has got nothing independent of Krishna. In his life, he only has Krishna, and everything in his life is connected with Krishna. So first of all, we should get this understanding. If we get this understanding, then we can classify our activities into two categories. One activity is directly devotional service. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padasevanam, Vandanam, Archanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. You don't have to convert it to devotional service. Then the second activity is not by nature devotional service. You have to add Krishna into it to make it devotional service. For example, eating is not naturally devotional service. You have to offer it to Krishna, make it prasadam, and then eat it, then becomes say Annamrita Power, Radha Krishna Gunagav, it becomes spiritual activity. So there are two types of activities in human life. Activities which are naturally Krishna conscious, activities which have to be dovetailed to Krishna to make it Krishna conscious. Now we got this understanding. We don't have an activity which is not Krishna conscious. Okay? So if we have that activity which is not Krishna conscious, then we fall into that category, Ishwaroham, Aham Bhogi, Siddhoham, Balavan, Sukhi, which is demoniac mentality. So therefore, we only have these two type of activities. Now we have to balance these two type of activities. Now what is that balance? That balance is very clearly given in Krishna in Bhagavatam. It says, dharma sonashtita pumsam visvakshena katasuyah na utpadayet yadiratim shramayeva hi kevalam. This is the rule. What is the rule? This is the rule. That activities which are to be made Krishna conscious should be performed in such a way that it increases the taste for activities that are naturally Krishna conscious. You understand? Okay. Now how to perform that? In order to perform that in Grahastha life, you have to depend on 3 shlokas. And those 3 shlokas are there in nectar of instruction. Vacha vegam, manasa krodha vegam, jivva vegam, mudropasta vegam, yetan vegan, yovishehitridhah sarvam apirmam pratyumsa shishat. Number 1. Number 2, atyahara prayasascha prajalponiyamagraha jana sangacha laulyam cha sadbir bhaktir vinashyati. Number 3, utsaha nisyat dhairyat tatkarma pravartanat sangatyagat sadovrate sadbir bhaktir prasiddhyati. So, if we apply these 3 shlokas in Grahastha life, then we can do activities which are to be made Krishna conscious in such a way that activities which are naturally Krishna conscious, we can increase the taste for it. Okay. So this is the short answer, because you asked a long question. I gave a short answer. Of course, it requires discussion on individual life and the individual details of how people live, but it is doable. It is doable. Okay? We'll stop here. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Anantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Shri Radha Damodar